ho ho! Merry Christmas!
Boo!
You suck.
Nobody asked you to. Get out of here. Anyway, I'm Steven from Tostemac, and it's time for another autism vlog. But not just any autism vlog. For the month of December, we're going to be focusing all about Christmas, starting with the big man himself, Santa Claus. And why it might be stressful for autistics to meet Santa Claus. Now before we begin, for those who are new to the channel, we at Tostemac upload new videos on Fridays and Saturdays. So if you enjoy what you see, don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell button to stay up to date on our latest videos. But wait a minute, I hear something. Something in the far off distance. Is it? Yes, a question from you guys. You're wondering, but Steven, everybody loves Santa Claus. Why would anyone be stressed out about meeting him? Well, there are two big factors to consider here, guys. First and foremost is, unfortunately, having to do with good old jolly Saint Nick here. I mean, come on, think about it for a minute. He's big, he's a stranger, and he's very loud when he goes, ho, ho, ho. At a very young age, we're taught to stay away from strangers, not even talk to strangers, especially if they offer you candy. So the idea of meeting this big old stranger just because everybody else is doing it not only seems like breaking the rules, but can also be very stressful for autistics because of the unknown factors. We don't know this guy. We don't know where he came from or what he does. So how are we supposed to know how it's gonna end? The other factor to take into consideration is the location. The majority of the times, these Santa meetup events are usually in shopping malls where there's a lot of bright lights, a lot of people, and a lot of noises and music, and these elements can often lead to stress and overstimulation and eventually a meltdown. And unfortunately, it's not like you can contact the people in charge of the mall and tell them to dim down the lights or tone down the music just because of a select few kids. So what can you do? Actually, there are three things you can do. First and foremost, do some research. Look online, like maybe a scouting site or maybe an autism organization site, in order to find some Christmas events that involve Santa Claus meetups. It's ideal to introduce your autistic kid to Santa Claus during one of these events, as it's more likely that the Santa Claus in question will have better training in terms of how to deal with autistics. Whereas when you take your chances at the shopping mall, you're kind of rolling the dice. You don't know what you're gonna get. The second thing to remember is, don't force it on them. Remember that no means no. After all, you're trying to get the kid to have a fun time, not have it forced on them just because everyone else is doing it and mommy and daddy said so. The more you try to force it on a kid, the less likely they are to enjoy it, and the less likely they'll want to do it again in the future. With this in mind, a lot of you may be asking, okay, if I'm not supposed to force it on my kid or just push them to do it, how exactly do I go about it? Well, that leads me to my third step. Take it nice and slow. Slow and steady wins the race here, people. What I mean by this is, instead of immediately jumping into the line because you don't want to wait too long, try to walk around the photo shoot area. Introduce the autistic child to the environment from a distance. Just walk around the Santa Claus area like, oh look, there's Santa Claus, see what the kids are doing? And explain to them the process, like why they sit on Santa's lap, what they ask for Christmas, and then the little photo shoot in the end, and then get a little something special. The idea behind this is, the more questions you answer for your autistic child, the less unknown elements there are, and the more likely that the autistic kid will feel more comfortable in terms of meeting Santa Claus. But ultimately, remember this. At the end of the day, it's the autistic kid's choice, not yours. With that being said, they have to come to it at their own will, at their own pace. It might mean in the next few minutes, it might mean another day. However long it may be, remember, the choice is theirs. And theirs alone. Oh, before I forget, for all the photographers that are running the Santa Claus events, I got some advice for you guys to remember. After all, I used to be a school photographer where I photographed kids for school yearbooks and senior yearbooks and senior pictures and even prom night. Ugh. Total nightmares, I tell ya. So on to that experience, I want to tell you guys that you're not gonna get that perfect picture. Just forget it, okay? You're not gonna get that perfect pose with an autistic kid. It's stressful enough to meet Santa Claus, but now you're telling them to tilt like this, look like this, tilt like this, tilt like this, look at the camera, tilt like this. Are you looking at the camera yet? You're gonna overstimulate and stress the autistic kid since he or she has to focus on so many different directions at one time just for you to get the perfect shot. The only thing the photographer should be focusing on is making sure the kid smiles. Make sure the kid looks like they're enjoying themselves and having a good time with Santa Claus. You want to make a really good memory for not just the kid, but for the family as well. And nothing says a good memory than a good smile. As long as you get that good smile, you'll be fine. Everything else will just flow naturally. Trust me, I've dealt with this before. And that's all the advice I have in terms of meeting Santa Claus for kids with autism. I hope you found this educational and enjoyable. And what do you guys think? Do you agree or disagree with what I said? Or do you have some other personal stories that you have in terms of Santa Claus? Let us know in the comments down below. Let's share our stories here. And on that note, I'm going to end the vlog here. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date on the latest vlogs. Also, don't forget to hit the bell. That's how you stay up to date. So thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and until the next video, Merry Christmas!